All right, and lastly, I want to thank Tom Smith for driving me around town. I didn't see anything in St. Joe's. I didn't see anything in St. Joe. I just heard a bunch of stories, and that was my favorite part. Because after getting grilled for 12 hours, I wanted to spend that 2 hours with a basketball coach who just 25 years and 600 wins later, I'll remember all of his stories, but more importantly, his stories all led to an impact. And that's where I want to go from here, because I got 4 sets of twos that I think are really important. And it starts with coaching, man. And with Tom Smith, hearing him talk and just telling the stories, they're all about his former players. That's what some people forget. It's not about me, and it's not about you. It's about the impact that we can all have.
That was Coach Sundance Wicks back on his introduction talking about Tom Smith.
Felt like 4 years ago, man. Gosh. TS, I tell you what, man, he doesn't have a case of the Mondays. This guy's got a case of the Mondays.
What are you talking about? I got all
case of the Mondays.
God, I'm the one bringing the juice today. What's up?
No, that was great. TS, that was fun to see because I like that. He just got got him. But no, it's fun to see that. This is a big week, man. This is Tom Smith week here this week, where he's getting the court named after him, and then we got senior week here, where we're going to let 3 seniors, really celebrate 3 seniors in our program that have been instrumental in building our foundation, our culture. So this is going to be a fun week, man.
You're just taking over the show. I haven't even said welcome yet. Welcome into Griffon Sports Spotlight. I'll be joined by women's assistant Serafina Handy coming up later in the show. But first, starting with the men, before we get into everything going on this week, just a one-on-one road trip for you. Just how did this week on the road feel?
No, it was a big week. I thought the Lincoln game, I thought we played really well defensively against Lincoln, and I thought Coach Martin and Coach Ty did great jobs on both the scouting reports for Lincoln and Lindenwood. We knew this was going to be a tough trip. It's funny because consecutive weeks, I think we played the team that's moved up to second spot in the league for the last 4 or 5 consecutive weeks. And you can tell why Lincoln's a really good team, man. They're big and they're physical, and we just didn't shoot the ball very well. And that was one of those nights this year where I thought, for the whole year, we haven't really had a night where we've been that bad shooting the ball. And that was a credit to their defense and their length, and they really took us out of it. But proud of our guys, how they competed. And then, obviously against Lindenwood, it was just we channeled our focus. You're allowed to have outlier type games. I told our guys, you got to flush that one because we don't ever really shoot that bad. And we did a great job with shot selection against Lindenwood on the road. And anytime you can go 17 for 17 free throws in the second half, make big shots, get big stops, that's how you win. That's how you win on the road.
You haven't even seen all my stats today, and you're already stealing everything.
Look, I'm on it. You got a case of the Mondays. I came in ready to roll, bro.
I knew what you were going to talk about. That's just a credit to me.
Yeah.
So the record now 11-13, 5-8 in the conference with 6 games to go. Just where do you see the mental state of these guys right now, especially rebounding in such a positive way with such a great offensive performance? And we know that you guys are going to show up defensively every night.
No, we're really focused right now on the guys in our locker room and just playing for the seniors. It's something I think when you get to this point of the year, there's not a lot of stuff that you're really going to fix. You're going to try to be great at what you're good at. And then you're really going to hone in on just the love that you got in the locker room. And we talk a lot about playing for the seniors. There's 3 guys in there that are special to our program. They're special to a lot of guys in that locker room. And if you can remember one thing when you're playing the game of basketball, it's you never know what it's like to be a senior. Juniors can think they know what it's like. Freshmen are usually got during the headlights, or they're just trying to make through it. When you're a senior, man, this practice that we're going to have today is going to be special because it's the last practice we get on this day. And the same thing tomorrow, and then Wednesday, it's the last time we get to play Southwest Baptist at home with those seniors. So we're just trying to collect a lot of memories with these guys and make sure that we take each day as it comes and really celebrate being around each other.
Now, let's talk about Lindenwood real quick, bouncing back from that loss to Lincoln where you guys missed 22 3-pointers and then fouls for Jason and Alex early in that one. You guys held them to 66 points, which you were proud of, but then on Lindenwood, you guys shoot lights out. Nobody scored more than 11 on Thursday, but then 22 off the bench from Tyus Milholland against Lindenwood. 4 of 7 from 3 made all 10 shots. Your big 3 all goes for 16 points. Most importantly, you close it out. You already mentioned it, 17 of 17 from free throws in the second half. Coach, where do we start with just how you guys played offensively in that one?
No, we knew it was going to be a possession game. Lindenwood does a good job of making that ball move around the perimeter, and they like to go deep into the shot clock. And so for us, we kept heat on their guys all night long. Yeah, I think Dykevoss and Newman both had pretty good games, but it wasn't one of those games where they could actually just sit there and just go off like they did at home against us. They had to work for every single bucket, and we got timely stops in that game. So I thought defensively it was really good, and then obviously we do what we do. We hold teams to under 6 threes for the game. 5 for 15 from 3 at 33%. And then just having your guys step up. Tyus was huge. Tyus is really starting to come into his own when it comes to just off the bench. We want that spark. I mean, he plays starter type minutes for us, but off the bench we want that spark. We want a guy that we can bring in, at the 16-minute mark and really get it going in a hurry. And you've seen him go games 4 for 13, 4 for 9, and now he went 4 for 7. It's just when he learns how efficient he can actually be by taking better shots, he's going to be really, really good for us.
Now, you mentioned it in the postgame, I think it was. He was going 4 for 13 some nights, and you're trying to get down 4 to 9-ish, and then you're going for 4 for 7. You'll take that every night.
I'll take that every night, and then let's get him go 4 for 4 next game. 4 for 5. That'd be even sweeter. No,
Nice.
he just has the ability to get hot really fast, and what we're trying to do is when you're such a great competitor like he is, you try to almost lock. He has a different level of being locked in that people don't understand, and when you find that level, I mean that's your highest, that's your optimal level of playing in peak performance. He can be really, really good.
I understand it. He hit a pull-up 3 in transition against Missouri Southern and looked over at their bench and barked something twice in a row. But he's
a barker, man. We tried to get him to stop doing this so much and start doing more locked in there. That's what we need him to do. So
a little precursor to this week, SBU and UCM. Let's take a look at the MIAA standings with that win against the Lindenwood. Gets you to Kansas City. A 1-game lead with 6 to go. Now it's about taking advantage. You guys have these 2 teams. They're the 2 teams right in front of you.
No, it's a heck of a rat race right now. I mean, you want a chance to control your own destiny, and at the end of the day, it's not in anybody else's hands. And so we'll take that. I mean, that's what we prepared for. We've been talking about it all year long with our guys. Is just you write the narrative, you control the story. Don't let anybody else write the story for you. And that started from media day down in Kansas City. People can say what they want or predict you where to be. That's just preseason polls, and you can't put too much stock in that. And we use it as locker room fodder every now and then, but at the end of the day, we are a different team now than we were 4 days ago. We're in a different team, last week than we were 3 weeks ago. So we're continuing to grow and to change our best, and we got to do that today. We got to have a really, really good practice today and a really good practice tomorrow.
You're going to play these guys 2 weeks in a row. Why?
Yeah, it's weird scheduling. I don't know. It's one of those things, but it's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. Is that even what does it mean when the way the cookie crumbles? So if I take this cookie and it crumbles this way, is that
I'm
a
still
good
gonna
thing
eat
or
a
a bad
crumbled
thing? Yeah,
cookie.
I'm going to eat a crumbled cookie too, but if the way the cookie crumbles, is that like a foreshadowing of what's supposed to happen? What if the cookie crumbles on you or away from you? What does that even mean?
Maybe we'll put it out on there on Twitter. Someone
Yeah,
can,
what does it mean when the way the cookie crumbles? Is there a certain thing that you're supposed to predict by, north, east, south, and west if the cookie crumbles a certain direction?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. That's
Your Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. I'm supposed to know these things. That's right. You're absolutely right. No, back to the point. Let's just go back to where we're getting here. Zenner is. We play these teams, 2 at home and 2 on the road, and you don't like to say that this is the season, but this is, for the most part, this is a 4-game stretch is really going to determine what's going to happen for your postseason.
Now, let's talk about these seniors. You got senior night coming up this week. Before we talk about TS, you got 3 of them. All 3 decided to stick with this program, and you guys are doing some pretty special things in your first year. Run me through these guys. What are they going to be doing?
Man, I go back to the first meetings with guys where I ask them what they want to do, and I remember sitting there with Levon and B. Hud and Alex, and I just remember the commitment that they came in and said, what, I'm here, Coach. I'm ready to do what you need us to do. And to me, that's the start of everything. Once somebody goes all in on something, I think it's hard to stop somebody. There's a lot of people in life that maybe go half in on things, or they'll try it out or try it before you buy it. These guys didn't want to try anything. They just said, what, I'm here. I'm going to be a Griff, and I want to finish out a Griff. And that's all we can ask for. To me, that's a form of Griffing up, man. People that just we love guys that want to be Griffs. When we recruit kids, we say we want you to be a Griff, but we want you to want to be a Griff. And when they call and they don't have any doubts about them, like Reese Glover and Alex Shawn did, that's my type of kid right there. And I know that Vaughn, Lex, and B. Hud are always going to be all in for whatever happens in the future for the Griffs, and they're going to be, core foundational pieces for what we've developed in year 1. And it's a sacrifice and the service that they gave to this program and this community that I'll never forget, man, because that's what we're about. We're about service over the self-interest of some individual. and they've done a great job being that way.
And that's kind of exactly Alex. He started to begin the year, and then Tyree Martin,
Yep.
he comes in and starts starting over him. Lex plays great minutes off the bench, and then he's just been a guy who's adapted all year long.
And it's doing whatever is best for the welfare of the team. And that's what you have to do as a player. Levon is a very unselfish guy. We've asked B-Hud to step up a role last year where he's averaging 4 points, and now he's trying to be a main threat. You know, those things are hard to do, and for Lex to unselfishly handle whatever role I've given him, and for all these guys to take hard coaching, because at the end of the day, if you can't coach your seniors and you can't coach them hard, then you'll lose a little bit of the locker room. And they've allowed me to coach them the way that we should be coached and hard all year long. And they've appreciated that. Our players have seen it. It's going to be an emotional night, man, when one, it's on senior night and their parents get to come in, because Levon's parents get to come about once a year. And I don't know if B-Hud's parents have ever been up here before. So, and then we always know the following of the Martin family. They're just so tremendous in the support they give for our program as well. So that senior night will be emotional. We want to make that special for them. And then just the last time these guys played together, that's why we keep saying in our locker room, play for the seniors, we want to play forever, play as long as we can. We don't want the season to end.
And then also going to be emotional because Tom Smith, a guy who you've gotten to know all
TS.
too well,
TS.
no pressure. You're going to be standing on his name for your whole career here at Missouri Western, because the court naming ceremony is going to take place on Saturday. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool for you to see.
Yeah, man, he texted me from Mexico last night. You know, I mean, look, these
Is he
guys.
going to be here for the ceremony?
Him and the Norton family, Bob Norton and Bob Roth, they're all down in Mexico having a good time, man. But
Thanks for the invite.
he's going to be up here Wednesday, and it's a special week for him. I get so excited because I wish that our head coach, you know, Don Meyer, would have been around when they named the court after him, and you know, for Tom Smith to be able to see that name go on the court, you know, that's a big deal. And I wish Coach would have been around to see all the teams play on his court after they named it that way. And so it's a special deal for a guy who's, at the time when he retired, was the winningest coach in MIAA history. It's cool for us to be a part of that.
Now the cookie will crumble beginning 7:30 on Wednesday, I guess. I don't know.
Which way? It's going to crumble this way, or it's going to crumble this way, or it's going to crumble this way?
The cookies will be in effect on Saturday for senior night against Central Missouri, as well as Tom Smith's court naming ceremony. Coach, good skill this week.
Cookies, cupcakes, court naming ceremony. Be there.
Hashtag Triple C. Coming up next, the Lady Griffs get a big boost from Brittany Atkins as part of a split weekend. We'll talk it over with assistant women's coach Serafina Handy coming up next on Griffon Sports Spotlight.
Action!
No one is prepared for a breakdown. Before you have one, check into car rental. Have tow insurance. Could you borrow a car? Maybe even Uber a taxi. If nothing else, have a big coat and a nice pair of shoes. TBA in service here for you when unexpected happens.
Valentine's Day is fast approaching. Why not treat the important people in your life by selecting from our vast array of specialty gifts which embody of love? Stop by today and you'll find jewelry, chocolates, permanent flowers, fashion, and home accents sure to please anyone dear to your heart. Visit us at 811 North Woodbine Road and you'll find the key to capturing the essence of style and home at Jamie's Secret Garden.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Failure is unacceptable.
Welcome back into Griffon Sports Spotlight. Now joined by women's assistant Serafina Handy, coming off a 1-1 road trip. Now 11-11 on the year, 6-7 in the league. Good for 9th place. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Now, just what are your takeaways from this weekend before we start getting into you coaching with this team? Just your takeaways from a 1-1 weekend.
There's good, obviously the one, and then there's bad, the other one of that. I think we played hard, but it sucks sometimes to come up short in that Lindenwood game. But there's a lot of good you can take out of it too, and there's a lot of learning you can do from it. So overall, I think it was a fairly good weekend.
Now, with you personally, you played under coach. Now you're coach alongside him.
Yeah.
What was just what went into getting you here to learn from him, and what excited you about that opportunity?
It was kind of just the offer was on the table to be an assistant, a graduate assistant, and I mean to pass up free schooling would be kind of crazy anyway. And plus, an opportunity to learn from probably one of the best coaches I was able to be coached by, Rob Edmondson. So that opportunity, couldn't turn that down.
Absolutely. Now, let's start with Thursday's game at Lincoln. A different type of environment. They play. It's a really small gym. It's a weird place to play. They jumped out to a big lead, get it back to a couple possessions, but then you go up 12, and you guys just kind of shut the door on them. A big win on the road. You got to be happy with how you guys were able to close out that one.
Yeah, Lincoln's tough. Like you said, I played there a couple years, and all the years that I've played, there's always been a weird kind of game. Like
no matter DJ there.
Yeah, no matter how high you are in the league or how low you are in the league, just playing at Lincoln is just a little bit different all the time. And I thought they played really well compared to years in the past and how tough it's usually been. They came out and went on a big run, and then Lincoln comes out and they go on a run, which that's basketball. It's a game of runs, but we were able to pull it out and finish that game, I think, up maybe 10 or a little more. And I think it's just a testament of how hard our players play. And like you said, Brittany with a big game there too.
24, 5, 9, 3 steals, and 4 other starters in double figures. Brittany, she probably reminds you of someone you played with.
Yeah, definitely like a LaQuinta Jefferson, not even necessarily from the playing style, but just from the elite level that she can play at. And that's the thing that Brittany can do for us. I mean, she's been battling injuries so much for as long as I can remember, honestly. But for her to be able to come out here slightly injured and still be able to do that and put up numbers like that is just big time. Shows how much of a player she really is.
And Saturday, it was a case of good and bad. You got 27 from Katrina, 17 from Aaliyah Richardson, but just no one else scored over 4 points, and that was probably just trouble. You'd like to try to get a win when you have.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You saw Lincoln. We had 4 players in double digits with 24, 15, 10. Just a lot of numbers coming from a lot of different places, and then that Lindenwood game, and we've only got 2. And I mean, we can look at it and say it was offense, but also defensively, we let Lindenwood score 55% of the time.
48 points in the paint, I think they had.
48 points in the paint. They hit 20 second chance points from 13 offensive rebounds. So I mean, we can go, and we can say offensively we didn't do that great, but we can also look defensively, and we didn't stop them from doing that great either. So.
And in that game, you also had 13 steals, so you guys were doing some things right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a game where you look at it and you go, oh man, that was just awful all around. You know, we definitely played hard, especially in that first half. We were able to get out to I think a 3-point lead at the half. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where there comes a point in time where the other team decides they're going to be tougher, and we haven't. At that game anyway, in particular, we just weren't tougher than Lindenwood decided they were going to be that day.
And what was just different about that game? You guys started Anastasia. Simone didn't play very much. Kashar and Olivia played a considerable amount in that game.
Yeah, Simone was battling some things. She came back from an injury last year as well, so she's kind of battling a few things. And we were looking for somebody else to kind of step up in her position, and nobody could really get into a flow of it and kind of pick up that scoring. Simone's been big for us, kind of being a double-digit scorer herself in the last few games.
Yeah, being that third option on offense, she's been really coming alive. Now it's when it gets crazy. There's 3 teams tied at 6 and 7 in the league, and you guys are all 3 games back of 6th, all 3 games ahead of 10th. Welcoming an SBU on Wednesday, UCM on Saturday. Just what's the key on Thursday against Southwest Baptist?
Honestly, the keys our whole season have been we have to play how we play, and we have to play hard. I mean, you talk about us being tied now. It was the same way all season. It was pretty much whoever wants it can go get it. At any point, any team that's in those positions can decide, you know, we want it more than the next, so we're going to go get it. And we're tired of being tied, you know. It's just a matter of deciding we're tired of being in this position right here, and we want to go here. So I think, again, defense and rebounds, that's the key for every game for us, really. Try to be defensively sound, rebound the ball, and then hope we can put it in there more than 42% of the time.
And then this week is also going to be special for you guys, celebrating senior night as well. You went through that. What was your senior day experience like?
My senior day, it was emotional for me because a lot of my family got to come out. My sister, who I hadn't seen in a while, she got to make it down from New York. So that was a big moment for me. So I know the seniors we have this year are definitely waiting for it. Especially I know Brittany, like with everything that she's been through and being in a position that she's in, to be able to play now from a position where she thought she might not even get one of these nights. So that's big for her. And then Shark as well. She's been working so hard, literally on and off the court in terms of like actual work. She's got a big load, and for her to be able to walk and have that moment, that's big. And Jess, a big season for her, coming from where she was last year, being kind of an off the bench, we'll go with you if we have to almost averaging a double-double for us. So I think it'll be emotional for them as well.
And then she went through senior night last year, but she came back, gave it her all. Unfortunately, she's had to call her career short in the past couple of weeks. But
literally gave it her all until she just couldn't go anymore. So we appreciate her for that.
Hey, Coach, thanks for stopping by. 5:30 tip on Wednesday, 1:30 on Saturday. Go get them.
Thank you.
Now, coming up next, we'll recap signing day, a look back at some of what Coach Williamson had to say from the football team's class of 2019. That's coming up next here on Griffon Sports Spotlight on News Press Now.
Price Chopper is proud to support area student athletes and recognize their hard work and dedication. As the sponsor of News Press High School Athlete of the Week, Price Chopper congratulates this week's winners.
What are you doing this weekend? Find out in St. Joe Live. Whether you're going out on the town or staying in to chill, St. Joe Live is the place to find things to do in your free time. Live music, movie reviews, TV listings, and art exhibits. These are just some of the things that St. Joe Live covers, so you know what's going on. St. Joe Live, your guide to the weekend and more, Thursdays in the St. Joseph News Press and online at stjoelive.com.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Everyone knows Sheldon's from the Lone Star State.
We made Tex-Mex. Wonderful dinner. Some assembly required.
And Texans love toe-tapping tunes.
Your stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas.
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Intensity and the energy and the spirit of this Griffon football team, and it's going to continue to grow and become more and more powerful.
Well, just from the outside in, our coaching staff worked their tail off. I mean, right from as soon as our season got over, working through the bowl week and the bowl game, and then heading into this last stretch at the end of January, I feel very confident about this class. Hands down, 100% best class we've had since I've been here at Missouri Western. I will stand on the table and say that right now. We've got a bunch of talented kids. We went head-to-head with a lot of schools in the MIAA, a lot of schools outside the MIAA, and we won the battle on a lot of them. You go back and you look as a head coach on your percentage of kids that come in, how many commit, and how many end up coming to your school. We are a very high percentage, over 75% of our kids that come on campus end up committing to us. So it was a good thing. Our coaching staff worked really hard, and I'm excited to get these guys here and get after it a little bit.
That's saying something, too, because you've had some good classes, your first 2 classes, and you want to battle MIAA teams. You want to battle FCS schools for these kids. Were you doing some of that as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We pulled a couple. One of our kids had 4 FCS offers, and Coach Horn did a great job recruiting him and pulled him in right at the last second. We sealed the deal with him. And there was a couple other, too. There was one kid that was committed to an FCS school that got dropped right at last second because they filled up right before the signing date. Every school in our conference, other FCS schools were jumping on him. Coach St. Louis jumped on him right away, pulled him in. We loved him up and took care of him, and he signed with us too. He's going to be phenomenal. Both those kids are going to be really good players for us. So it's been fun. And I'll be honest with you, I always am, is that, the first couple of years we were going head-to-head with a lot of the schools in the conference, and it was about a 50-50 deal. People were getting mad. I'm telling you, it was exciting to see, just because the work ethic, but everybody sees the vision and what we're trying to do here. They see the foundation that we built, and when they come on campus, they see the passion with these kids, with our players, with our coaches, and just the community, and all the people, the professors that helped out. Josh, our athletic director, Miss Teresa came and spoke. Everybody, it was all hands on deck, and we won the fight, I guarantee. Obviously, you want to compete right away, but you don't want to sell the farm the first year you're here. We implemented some junior college kids here and there just to improvise and teach and get a base of what we wanted to do. But every year we've added seniors, and last year every year we've added freshmen, high school kids. And we're going to sign 30, 35 high school kids every year. No questions asked. Every single year we'll bring that in. And then we want to supplement with the transfers and the junior college kids. Because we bring those kids in, we want them to transform to what we have here and who we are. When you do that in the early stages, you're bringing in a bunch of kids that the foundation wasn't set, and it was at anywhere that you go. And our foundation is set, and it is solid right now. I was talking about our locker room, and it's fun to watch, is that they pull guys in, guys flip the switch, and all of a sudden they're Griffins all the way through.
Congrats to Coach Williamson and the Griffons on a successful signing day in 2019. 39 athletes from 9 states. Spring ball will get underway in late March. That will do it for us on Griffon Sports Spotlight this week. Make sure you get your Western coverage all year at News Press Now. It's a pair of home doubleheaders Wednesday and Saturday, with senior night festivities on Saturday, as well as the court naming ceremony for former coach Tom Smith. For Serafina Handy and Sundance Wicks, I'm Brandon Zenner. You've been watching Griffon Sports Spotlight on Fox 26 KNPN.